afternoon. This is Alana. Oh, the sun is gonna come out for this. Hi. So today is, I have been able to smell spring for weeks now, and this upcoming Sunday is the equinox, also known as Ostara. Other people call it Easter. So I am working on a new little watercolor project for that. And I thought I would take everyone with me just because I had fun doing it for hey everyone out there. I had a lot of fun doing it for the last major event that we had, which was for this time of year. My brain has gone to nothing because there's a bunch of dogs outside. Lunasad. For Lunasad. And was it Lunasad? Oh, embarrassing. Whatever. We're working on a new piece of art for a different time of the pagan year. So maybe the dogs will quiet down. Most likely not. But let's see what we're doing. Imbolc. How embarrassing. It's Imbolc. That was in February. God, it's just noisy on my end today. Whatever. Lunasad is later in the year. I think it's in August. But Imbolc was in February. We are now in the middle of April, and we are going to be doing Ostara. So let's see what we're working on today. So this is watercolor paper that I had soaked and was working on stretching. Now the thing is, it wasn't in a book that was big enough. So there's these beautiful freaking lines on all of these pieces except for the skinniest. So I am going to be stretching these more overnight so that I have a nice crisp paper to work on. But I would like to have a nice layered effect. I'm gonna flip this over because it's driving me crazy. But we'll have that. Then my second circle, my third circle. Because this is the equinox, I really am going to be playing into the as above, so below sort of ideology, iconography as well. But that's what we're working on right now. I have to sneeze so bad, so we'll see if I finish my thought before the sneeze comes out. But this does need to lay flat overnight because those lines are going to drive me nuts. But in the meantime, while I still have a little bit of light, I will be working on the actual imagery that I want to have for this illustration. Illustration, multi-layered art piece, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Just I'm making art and that's what matters. So a lot of the icons that come with Ostara, which have obviously been stolen by the Christians for Easter, are eggs, are rabbits and bunnies and hares, are pastel colors, as well as the deep greens and the yellows. But also a lot of flowers. So something I really miss living near is hyacinths and tulips and crocuses, because in Southern California, where I grew up and where I now live, we do not have those kinds of flowers. But in Oregon, where I lived for 6 years, oh, all of the flowers, all of the greenery, which I do miss. But we make do with what we have. So I do believe I'm going to be ingrading a lot of those visuals in whatever I'm going to be drawing for this. So welcome to the artistic process. It is going to change throughout the process, and that is the beauty of creating art. So I'm going to do some sketches, and the sun is going to go past the house next to me in about 10 minutes, so I'm not gonna have good lighting for a bit. So I will catch you tomorrow. It's the next day. So I have my sketch all set up, and I will walk you through what I'm gonna do, and then I'm actually just gonna start by doing a light wash, a watercolor wash of the general colors that I will be using on my various pieces of paper. That'll kind of be my color blocking sketch to start off. So let's take a peek. Project Manager is alert as always, but this is what I'm going to be working on. So the general color outlines are going to be here. You can see very much this is very, you know, Easter coded, even though Ostara did exist to begin with. But there's going to be a lot of play with as above, so below, with the yellow and purple, purple and yellow, deep blues with deep browns. And because of where I live in the desert, I'm in like the general Mojave Desert at the north of LA County. So everything is going to be relatively, well, everything with the flowers are going to be local. So we have a lot of dandelions at this time of year. And while we don't really have them here, I do see people plant tulips and crocuses and hyacinths. But then for the animals that we have, we are a snail nation. And let me tell you, I adore snails. What's not to love about our sweet little shelled gastropods? So there will be a snail shell at the bottom. We have desert cottontails here, so the ears of a desert cottontail above, and then we have enormous common ravens where I live. They are like very, very large, and their eggs are beautiful, very teal, very speckled. So that's sort of just the general outline of what I will be doing today. And of course, our papers. And then I believe I'm just going to use rubber cement to paste everything together. Let me show you what that looks like. It is Elmer's brand. I'm sure there's other brands that I just haven't really used. But, you know, Elmer's rubber cement. I use it for bookmaking. I use it for all sorts of pasting projects. But that's the plan. It's really nice outside. I'll probably go for a walk soon because it's actually a little chill with the wind, which is nice. So, You see, what do your elf eyes see? Are they taking the hobbits to Isengard? I'm sorry, such offense. Such offense. Cruelty beyond measure, am I? I poke the butt. Okay. Let's get started. Actually, before I start with my wash, I am going to be using a little bit of masking fluid so that I can perfectly crop out where I want to put my 4 little eggy ways in the center piece of my nest. There's the word. Because I am going to do a wash on everything, but there are some parts where I do want to keep it nice and bright. So I'm going to do a wash on this, but have some masking fluid for the eggs. And then for the crocus pieces, I want them to have some nice white parts of them that haven't been touched with other parts of color. So I will do that, and then we will actually do the washing, the color washing. Hi, how are you doing? I know we both have allergies right now because the wind, she does not stop, and that's why we love her. But the wind. And now this is my time to remind you that while I have picked up a lot of information on the various times of year of the pagan calendar just through life, I absolutely endorse going and reading through the website Mabon House and everything, all the information that she has compiled there for sure. But I do really enjoy spring. Spring is just the time of year where I feel as though I, along with everything else, comes back to life after the cold, dark, gross winter. Not to say that winter is not needed and enjoyed, but I am always itching for spring when we get to this point of the year. Now is the fun part. Let me see if I can I don't know if I can do this with one hand. Oh, there we go. There we go. That looks terrible. Hold on. If you look with the light, you can see there's a really shiny substance there, and that is the masking fluid that we did. So now you just take your finger and roll over it, and it gives a very nice, if I can only grab it,
satisfying peel. Ooh, so lovely. Now we just do this for all of them. ASMR. A funky sound.
Ooh, nasty nasties. Now, if these look like used something, that's because they look like used something. This is made of latex. So if this is reminding you of the look of anything else that's also made of latex, it's because it's made of latex. You guys are awfully far away. You can come a little closer. That's fine. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Too much cowbell. Too much cowbell. Okay. I think that should work all right. Now I know that my mind is in the gutter because it's spring. I'm thinking of latex. There's everything in bloom. If you watch Bridgerton and you understand the context of one's flower garden being in bloom, oh, let me tell you, I've never identified with anything more as one's flower garden being in bloom. But that's what spring is for, I suppose. So I'm very happy with where we have gotten today. Now I have other projects to work on, and I want this all to be very, very, very dry for tomorrow, because I've learned I really do enjoy mixing my media. So I will be having a little bit of fun with gouache tomorrow, as well as, that's a big ass Ziploc bag filled with colored pencils. So we are going to pause for the day. We're going to move on to other projects, and then tomorrow we're gonna finish this all off. So, bonus, if you've been hearing something in the background, it is the 2016 Beauty and the Beast with Vincent Cassel and Léa Seydoux. So it's very good. It's free on Tubi if you would like to watch a very beautiful Beauty and the Beast, like top notch. Better than anything the Big D Corporation has put out in the last few years. So I'm gonna stand by that hot take. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning. It's the next fucking day. Who could have guessed it? So we are at the home stretch. I just want to put on finishing touches, and then I get to glue everything together, which is always very satisfying. So let's see what we've got, and then we will move forward. I'm actually quite happy with how this has turned out so far. I might go in just a little bit so I can cover up more of the edge, so that if I don't perfectly place it, you won't just see stark white paper. But I like it. I'm happy. Let's get to it, and then we'll paste it, and then we'll be done. So, very nice. So I suppose the next big question is, what actually is Ostara? Spelled O-S-T-A-R-A. Again, I am just on mabonhouse.co/Ostara. But thank you for everyone in this world that has put information out on the internet for us plebeians to use. It's very helpful. But I mean, it's spring. It is renewal. It is the resurfacing of things that you used to have, and you realize, maybe I don't need these anymore. So let's go through and clean and create something new. So that's sort of where like the concept of spring cleaning comes from. It's where, you know, a lot of the planting happens in a garden. It's where you decorate your house fresh to get out of that winter vibe, winter feeling. But I don't know, it's actually like a week long sort of deal. So the nice thing about working in art in general is that it can be very varied and you can do it over a long period of time. So I have taken a nice bit of, a couple days to do this project, which has felt really nice. So I counsel you, before we get to homework, to start thinking of a long-term art project that you can work on for spring. I am so happy. This has turned out really, really lovely. I'm just going to sign it, and then we are going to go out into the sunshine so that we can see the colors in their full display. It's always a question of, where am I gonna sign it? Do I want to sign it at the very top? Do I want to sign it at the very bottom? I think we're going to literally go for a happy medium and sign it right in the middle. Oh, and just like that, we are all done. It feels very good. And yes, I did kind of cheat. I put it on one of our front bushes that have these beautiful pink blooms. But that brings us to homework. Go and make some art. Go do something that takes you a week to finish, whether it's a crochet, whether it's a song, whether it's a spell, whether it's a dance. But have a beautiful Ostara, a beautiful spring, a beautiful end of the week, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.